What is up, everyone? Hello, hello. Welcome to the Loadout.
Everyone, hello.
Back
Welcome
with
to
another episode. It should be a great one. We're here with Pamaj and Study as usual to talk all things Call of Duty and Warzone. As always, though, I want to remind you guys that we want to give a big thank you to DraftBuff for sponsoring the Loadout. DraftBuff is a free and social fantasy esports app hosting season-long fantasy leagues for Call of Duty League and other esports. Jay and I are doing our draft for CDL Minnesota, which was postponed until next weekend, but we will still be doing our draft at the end of the Loadout today. They also have a salary style tournament open to everyone, so please come join us. Remember, draftbuff.com. The link is in the description. DraftBuff is your home for esports fantasy. And I will have you know, I now have a 2-0 record over Jay in DraftBuff.
Yeah, I've been getting smoked. It's because my players are getting benched. My players are getting booted. Like every week, there's something new. I can't wait to see what they pull out their ass this week. So
I think it's just because like my insights are clearly like so top notch.
yep,
I'm knowing
that's
exactly
definitely it.
who to go for.
Definitely a Kate.
But Pam, what's up? What's up? You just got out of a Warzone game, so how's your day been?
I've been back on my BS, I guess. I don't know. Like I've been going to sleep at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., waking up at like 4:30, like 5 in the morning. Like I'm like not sleeping like 9, 10 hours. I'm like sleeping like 6, 7 hours. Like it's pretty proactive if that's what you're asking me. But
4 a.m. My God.
It's
I
all
can
good.
never do the gamer schedule thing. That's just like mind blowing to me.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
been this way. It's just been this way. Like quarantine, everything like that. It's just been this way. When people are sitting there like talking about like, oh, I don't know about this lifestyle. Like this is literally the lifestyle of a content creator or someone who plays video games for a living. So,
Yep. Pam texts me
it's
every
nothing new.
morning at 7:30.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny because like when you get on like these lifestyle grinds, like a month before this game dropped, I was playing
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 DLC lobbies, and those lobbies are really hard to find. And it's kind of like a bucket list thing in the back of my head because like there's still some like footage that I want to like get on there, like just for the sake of it. Like if there was one game I would go back to, it's probably Modern Warfare 2 DLC lobbies. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's only a specific set of people who play that game and who play those maps and lobbies. So I would legitimately start to recognize the people I'm playing against. And
I swear to God, it happens every single time. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Pamaj, where did it all start for you, bro? Like, where did it all start? Like, what made you want to go and pursue your career now that you have?
dude, I was just getting my ass whooped on Modern Warfare 2 Rust, like by my buddy. Like my buddy Nick, he would always win. Like he knew he was the best in the group at like sniping, and like we would just play Rust free for all, like first to 30, like get a throwing knife last kill. And like he was one of those guys that loved to just set himself up to just win, right? You know, like hey guys, let's go play fucking zombies, you know what I mean? Like on Halo 3, I'm gonna beat you guys, like, and we'd be fine with second place, right? And I just got fed up, so I just looked up on YouTube sniping montages, and then I found Optic Predator. But the thing that like made me latch onto that was his gameplay, and the way he made his videos were very raw, so I could learn from them very easily. They were real time. It's not like a bunch of editing or anything like. And I think what sold me on him was I heard it was a band called Thousand Foot Crutch, and he used them, and I was like mind blown. I'm like, there's no way this guy knows who Thousand Foot Crutch is. Thousand Foot Crutch is like a Christian rock band from
Yeah.
Canada. Like,
Damn.
and when I heard him like just make montages on Call of Duty, sniping montages with it, I was like sold. Like, and I just got lost in the videos and just the deep hole of just sniping and everything.
So,
And
Pamaj, all right, so it led you to this point. But what made you? Where was a decision in your career where have you ever had the decision to want to go pro?
Oh.
To be a pro player? Because everybody knows you for like, just flashy sniper, doing his thing, multi-kill feed, like,
I would like. I mean, you tell me, man. Do you think I could? Do you think I could have done it? Like, you play with
like,
me. If I
yeah.
sat there and like
If
all the
you
years
actually,
that I didn't snipe, right, and I just
yeah,
used the red gun and I just got my gunny up, like I didn't change sensitivities, like I always told you, like
yeah.
mid match and shit like that. I stuck with one sensitivity. Do you think I could have done it?
Hell yeah, because
I think
you're
I could have
telling
done it.
me, that you put in so much time,
Oh,
Mm.
like
10,000 hours
just to
at least,
beat your
bro.
friend
What?
at Modern Warfare 2 Rust. So if
Dude.
you're trying to get over that hump, like just the amount of time that you put into that, you could have definitely been a pro player if you ask me.
Oh, dude, when I first beat him the first time, he was so upset, dude. He was like Austin literally looked up YouTube montages and then he learned and then he kind of like started spinning that on me. I'm like, I just beat your ass.
Yeah.
Like you're actually just salty about this right now. But I mean, I don't know if like there was a certain game that like would have pushed me that way. All I know is like I wouldn't be able to do one thing. I wouldn't be able to do two things at once.
Nah, you never could.
Nate Shot had to give up like Nate Shot was a sniper, right? Like and
Yeah.
then he kind of went into it. So I would probably have to just put it down all the way up and then just go that way. But if there was a game, I mean, I would probably say maybe BO2, yo, cuz I played enough BO2 for 10 players.
Yeah.
You know, like just a sickening amount. Like when you thought of BO2, especially when the first game first dropped, like I'm pretty confident like in how I remembered it. The only people you saw on YouTube back then were like me and Scum, especially for Black Ops 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if there was one game I feel like I could have done it if I just like didn't go 14 sensitivity or 12 sensitivity, whatever. Just go on. What was the sensitivity you guys used on BO2? Like, what was the one?
I use 4-4.
4-4. If I was just
Yeah.
on 4-4 the entire year, maybe it could have been that one because I put so much hours into that game, man. Like,
Would you? So this is interesting to me though, Pam, because you didn't answer if you would have wanted to. Though.
oh
Like,
no, like
Yeah.
I
Would you have
yeah,
wanted
hell
to
yeah,
be a pro?
hell yeah, hell yeah. I've always kind of felt like pros didn't mess with like YouTube content creators and snipers and all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I felt like these cats always clowned us for some weird ass reason. I
Ah,
don't
yeah,
know
we
why.
did clown y'all. It's just like, oh, they did it when, versus a whole bunch of Billy Bob Juniors, and then we're doing it versus the best players in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way that we looked at it.
Yeah.
But now you got my respect, big dog. I know you nasty.
I mean, you seen the wages. You seen the wages. I mean, I definitely took this year to like go pursue it because when it turned to 2020, like, I just I don't want to like I can actually say I played pubs for 10 years straight, like, and I'm cool off that. Like, I don't want to feel pressured into doing that again.
Yeah.
I don't want to look back thinking and wishing I did more competitive stuff, and that's when I found myself playing with Proofy and all of them a lot more because I wanted to. I wanted to like venture into that I'm a very competitive person, and it kind of got taken away from me in high school because our coach and all like whatever the sports teams, like, they would not cut people just so they could be a part of it, and we could have had like 8 guys who wanted to win and go like far, right, who would like be ready to commit, but then like the coach wouldn't cut people and that would frustrate us, and that like kind of like just cut like the competitiveness that I really like have. Like, I'm a competitive guy at the end of the day, so I really like wanted to feed that competitiveness, especially this year. Yeah, I think I could have. I'm a competitive guy. I hate losing. It's not fun.
Who was
Yep.
it? You mentioned Proof. So who was the full squad? And Jay was a part of it too. What was your win streak you went on in Warzone a couple weeks ago? It was like 18, 9. What was it? It was some wild.
It was on
Warzone win
accident.
streak.
It
Yeah.
was
Okay,
on
so explain
accident.
to the people who don't know. Talk about how that started and how far you guys got and how it ended.
So like it started off, it was me, Rated, Crim6, and Bobby Plays, and then Rated was in for 1 dub, and then we played with Bobby for 1 or 2, and then we were on like a 2-win streak, and then we got Proof and Stud, and then one guy came in, it was a fake Mr. Beast account, but then he challenged us. He was like, yo, if you guys get 10 wins in a row, 5 wins in a row, I'll give you guys 20 bans. I'm like, I better turn the stream on real quick. Like, I don't want to miss out on this. So we got to 5, but then Krim got an actual offer from somebody in chat, and they said, "Yo, if you guys get 10 wins in a row, I'll give you $1,000."
Damn.
And then
okay.
we actually got to $1,000. I mean, not 1,000. We
10
actually
wins.
got to 10 wins, and then we got to and then we eventually got to 12, and then Krim had to get off, and then Study got off as well because he had already been playing, and then it was just me and Proof who like still had the win streak going, right? And then after that, we picked up Youngsters and Impact, and we told them, it was like, yo, we're on a win streak right now. It's really not that important, but we need you to keep the same energy that we had the entire time. And like those 3 games, like what I love about that win streak is every single person had like a very big clutch moment that like kept it going. Like it was one person alive, like no plates. You know what I'm talking about? It could have been done, but I love that win streak because everyone had like their own like huge moments in it, and it just kept going. We didn't understand it. Like me and Proofy were fucking like overall like I don't know if I should be swearing, but my bad.
No, you're good.
Me and
good.
Proofy
You're
were
right.
like delusionally tired, and we're just like, yo, did we just win like 13 in a row? Not 14, right? Did we just win 14? 15? Not 16, right? It just kept going till 21. And honestly, we could have kept going, but Impacts got shafted by leg. Like really, really bad. Just really, really bad. But it accidentally happened. I couldn't even believe it even happened at all.
What was
Wasn't
it?
even really
Do you
thinking
guys
about
know, is that the record win streak?
At the time, I think it was, but I heard somebody might have beaten it. I think they could have gotten 24 in quads.
Jeez, though.
I'm not totally sure. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen nothing like. As far as I know, I got the proof. It's on my channel. I'm waiting to see their proof. I'm waiting to see all the dubs in a row. Like, maybe they did, and if they did, fucking congrats to them. You know, we had our light in the pedestal for a little bit, and I don't mind that.
All right, so Pamaj, talk to me about when you first joined FaZe to when you departed from FaZe to join Optic to the feeling of leaving Optic then joining back to FaZe. Like, what was that whole process for you? Because I
Dude,
know it
those
had to
are
be a roller
all
coaster.
like breakups, dude. Like
I
those
know.
are like vividly. Those are not fun times. Like, cause, okay, so the first time I joined Optic when I was like 14 or 15 years old.
Okay.
The first time, and I got lucky, like extremely lucky, like legitimately. I made my Twitter to try and join this team, and I didn't make it on this team. It was like a little tryout, whatever. And who was leader of that team? Spratty. And I think that's funny years later going by because he didn't let me on his team like years ago, right? But I made it a Twitter account called Pamaj123, and I followed like Apostle, Predator, like Sprat, and all of them, whatever. And then one late night, it was just me and my buddy Dylan just playing Modern Warfare 2, and Apostle tweeted out, "Playing Modern Warfare 2 headquarters, message me for invite." And you could legitimately find the tweet to him on that old account, the Pamaj123 account. Like it's still up. I don't have access to it. I couldn't remember it honestly, but I said message gamertag Pamaj, and I remember playing Strike Ground War at like probably like 11 at night, and then I just see Optic Apostle invited you to the game, and I was like, dude, Dylan, he just invited me. Dude, Dylan, he just invited me. Like, what do I do? What do I do? He's like, dude, join. And you know, like if you guys ever have like those invites that just didn't work, like especially on Xbox 360, like you would click accept, but it would just like not work. That was like my biggest fear at the time. I'm like, please don't do this right now. Please don't do this right now. So like I joined him, and the thing is, it's insane how like I was not really that good prior to that, but as soon as I joined that lobby, like something in me like just started clicking, and I just started dropping bombs like in these lobbies, like, and I was so nervous, and I was going so hard, and I was dominating, right? And at the end of the night, he got off, and before he got off, he was like, yo, Pam, check your messages. And like they started like calling me a nickname like Pajama and all that shit. I'm like, oh my God, bro, here we fucking go. But he was like, don't say anything. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like in a little message on Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox.
And then he sent me a friend request. I'm like, oh my God, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And then ever since then, I started like slowly getting invites from them. I started making myself available like always down to play. You know what I mean? Always down to
Yeah.
be their 6th man on Modern Warfare 2 headquarters. And then I eventually joined. That's how I met. That's how I got introduced to them, right? But it was fucked up. Like he would always be. As time went on, as soon as I started playing with him more, he'd be like, "So Pam, when are you gonna join Optic?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you tell me that? Why? What kind of question is that for me?"
Do you feel like it was just like being a tease or something?
Yeah, like don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't get my hopes up. Like don't do that. But like as soon as he kept saying that, it started to feel like more realistic.
Yeah.
And like this was when Optic was like known as the sniping team, right? Like this is like when the Optic Pro team was like JCat, Merc, fucking Nade Shot, and Rambo. Like that was when it was those guys, like literally the first squad, right? And like Hector like slowly like neglected like the sniping team inside and all that, and he wasn't like really paying attention. And he had this one guy, Paul, who at the time wasn't really making like the best decisions, like in terms of like picking editors, picking songs, picking players, and all that. And because of that, FaZe was doing it right at that time. So I joined Optic. Like fast forward, I joined Optic. Predator got me in and all that, and I'm pushing out episodes. Like I was still working on my job at the marina 9 to 5. Like I'm like just playing, and then as soon as like I would love to talk to my supervisor at my old job because I legitimately only talked about this stuff at my job. Like he must have been so upset at me, or like actually my supervisor was cool. My guy boss was cool. The girl boss fucking hated me. Like she hated me. Like just she did not like me. I could just feel it. You know what I mean? She just like dismissive.
She didn't give a
very,
shit about
very
you talking about
dismissive.
video games at
No,
work.
like no, like go like it was so annoying. I don't want to think about it. But
yeah.
Anyway, so like Paul is like not like we had a guy who wasn't doing any like the things right. So we're just sitting here watching FaZe do everything right.
Yeah.
And I was doing very well on the Optic team. I was like that guy. And Seabass kept hitting me up. He's like, FaZe Pamaj, FaZe Pamaj. I'm like, I don't know about this because these guys like Predator, Apostle, Rated, Folsom, like Jewel, like they all vouched for me so hard to get on Optic that I did not want to like disrespect or fucking like just torch everything they did for me to get on that team. So like as time went on, like Optic is kind of going like down a little bit, more and more. FaZe was on the up, and Seabass kept hitting me up, and I didn't leave until Predator was like, "Yo, you need to join them." Like you,
Oh
like
wow. So he was
he
like, go.
Yeah, if he said like, nah, bro, we can do this, like on Optic, then I would have never joined because like I had too much respect and too much like love for those guys for even putting me there, right? But as soon as Predator gave me the nod, like it's like, yo, you need to go do that. Like that's an opportunity. Like if I could, like if Predator even told me, he's like, if I could do that, I would. Imagine FaZe Predator like all the way back then. I don't know if you guys like know the sniping scene or anything like that, but as soon as he told me that, but he's not gonna ever leave Optic. He's Optic Predator. So as soon as he gave me the okay, I joined FaZe, left Optic the first time, and then as soon as I joined FaZe, I was like 16. Modern Warfare 3 was still the main game, and I remember putting out. That's when I like went to work. Like we had a Dropbox. And this Dropbox, you would put your completed video in there, your like a notepad that had the description, music, artist, and whatever you wanted in it. And you had to like be very proactive about it. Within like 2 weeks, I had like 6 or 7 videos. Like I was putting in work. People were like, yo, what the fuck is this guy doing? And to me, I'm just like, I got another video done. Like I got another one done. I got another one done.
And
like,
this is still while the 9 to 5's happening or no?
Yeah. This 9 to 5 is still happening. Like, like the passion is burning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't take me off of the game, like, whatsoever. Like, you'd have to. Like, my mom would try to make me not. She would take my keyboard and mouse away, but I had an extra one stored in my closet. So whenever to take it away, I would like plug it back in, start editing on Vegas and all like that. You couldn't take me away from it. Like, nice try. I'm 2 steps ahead of you at least. But yeah, I just like absolutely just like started killing it, and I had like a big montage come out. And what's crazy is that one big montage like early on, it was called like Iridescent 3. It actually got leaked like an album or some shit like that, and it actually made me upset. And it was like kind of like a big thing in our community. It's like, yo, Iridescent 3 like got leaked. I'm like, what the fuck, yo? Like I spent so much time on this video, and it was on some random community channel. That would piss you off, no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
for
Well,
sure.
yeah.
For
the fact
sure.
the fact that even was even happening back then was like mind blowing, honestly.
Well, I mean, for someone
But,
to like steal your thunder like that when you put so much work into something.
Yeah.
Oh, for real. And I think it's kind of cool thinking about it now. And I look back at montages like it's kind of a cool way to think about it. Like the player is like the artist, quote unquote, and then like the editor is like the producer, engineer, whatever, and like they just hop on your clips and they try to do you justice. You know what I mean? Like montages are legitimately like mixtapes in a way.
Nah,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
You spend all this time getting these raw clips and everything, and then you just throw it together in a video, and that's what it is, right? I think it's a cool way of thinking back at it now. I definitely didn't think that way when I was doing it. I was just doing it to do it.
Oh, yeah,
But,
for sure.
what was I getting at here? What
Now
was the
you're
original
on,
question here?
now you're on phase.
I'm in phase the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Time goes on. BO2 happens. BO2 happens. I remember I drove to Toronto. I had to get my mom to drive me to Toronto. I'm like, Mom, I got to get this game. Like, I got hit up Craigslist or Kijiji, it's called here in Canada, and I found a Black Ops 2 copy like a week before, $200. I'm like, Mom, we got to go to Toronto. And it was like
at this point, was she starting to kind of like get that this was a real thing?
No,
or
no,
She
no,
was
no,
still
no,
taking the
not
keyboard.
not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. It wasn't until like I don't know, like it was all like her PayPal. So like until she started seeing like more money come in, right? Like
Yeah.
as time went on, then she started like feeling like, oh shit, like this guy's he's paying his own internet bill now. He's like in grade 10, like
Yeah.
you know, he can do it. He might be all right.
Yeah.
BO2 happens. I go get the game, and I fucking like spend so much time making the first Black Ops 2 montage. And I remember like, I think this is really dope because you know how I told you guys Sprat didn't let me
Yeah.
on his team?
Spratty.
So Spratty, the wizard, the man, he's literally like me across the pond, but he's British. Like I'm him Canadian form across the pond. You know what I mean? Like we're literally like the same person. But I think it's dope to look back at. He uploaded that montage for me on the FaZe Clan channel because if you're from the UK, their time zone's different and the embargo is much different, so you can get away with uploading it earlier. So he uploaded the first Black Ops 2 sniper montage, and that has like 7.5 million views now or some shit like that. And that being the first to do something at the beginning of a game is so important.
Nah, for sure.
So important because no one cares about the old CODs, especially when a new one drops.
Mm-hmm.
If you can be someone who is good at the game right off the rip, you're going to blow up. You're going to get people looking at you. You're going to see numbers. And the thing is, as soon as you get that one chance, like you can't like take a break. You shouldn't take a break because the minute you take a break, like someone else is not taking a break. They're just trying to take your spot. Like if you go to sleep for 9 hours, somebody else is up for those 9 hours. Like just,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, like trying to beat you on the race, right? So that happened, and it all kind of like blew up as soon as I told myself I wanted a New Year's resolution to just upload every single day. And I think I uploaded every single day from then on for like 3 or 4 years straight. Like I didn't miss. Like it's all like I lived and breathed, and I just knew, right? So I'm in phase, and then kind of time goes on a little bit. I have like 50 plus uploads on the FaZe Clan channel. I have like these big videos. Like I still think I still might have like the most uploads on the FaZe Clan channel, like as a singular player. Like to this day, I think, because all those old videos, like they just add up. So I had all those videos, right? And I spent a long time on like this one video called The Catalyst 2, like 9 months of recording. And I wanted it. It sucks because Predator, he would always egg me on. He was like, he was very like competitive wise. He was like, yeah, I got a montage on my own channel though, and it's got like 100,000 likes on it. Like it's got like 5 million views. But he was like,
Yeah.
it's on my channel, right? I'm like, fuck, dude, he's got that on me. Fuck. So I wanted it. I wanted the Catalyst 2 on my channel because I felt like I deserved it, and because I give and Faze all these uploads at the time, like on their channel. I just wanted one on my own, and they weren't agreeing with that at the time. Leadership was very different back then. Like Seabass was like the main guy. Like Banks wasn't really in the space. Like Temper wasn't really like. It was Seabass making the calls at the time.
Yeah.
And looking back at it now, like it was over a video, like leaving, and it's like, you know, we're teenagers, like kids at the time still. But yeah, I like it just became this thing, like to just like I just decided to leave. I was like, I want this on my own channel. Like I feel like I deserve it, and I decided to go solo after that as well. So I uploaded it, and the thing is, I wish I could have stayed on social media, like as that happened, because as soon as I dropped that video, I left Faze and I didn't look at Twitter. I didn't look at nothing, and I didn't get to like take it in. Like all the time I spent on that video, I didn't get to like read the tweets,
Yeah.
like people tweeting at me like, yo, sick video. I didn't get to like appreciate that, and it fucking kind of sucks because I made it all about just me leaving, and I fucking wish I never did that. Looking back at it now, just like trying to appreciate that moment, right?
For sure.
So left Faze, I'm solo. I'm like out of high school. Like as soon as I graduated, I went back home and I made like a daytage. Like I just started recording more. Like I was just started editing and shit like that. I think I called it like after high school daytage. Like I just played like 5 hours and I just threw together this crazy ass little daytage, and I just like went to sleep. And then to me, like after high school, that's kind of like when the fire like kind of felt like it kind of got lit under me, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't apply to any colleges. I didn't apply to like any universities. Like I didn't do any of that. That wasn't on my mind. Like,
I mean, that's a tough
'cause I
moment in
already
your
knew.
life too. Like,
yeah, like I didn't even know where to start. Like people are like applying. All my friends are talking about it. I'm just sitting here like that. Like none of that crossed my mind. Like I already
Yeah.
knew what I wanted to do. Like I knew this opportunity was like too good. Like this is all I ever wanted to do. Like I manifested it. I just talked about it so much beforehand. Like it's just I had it, you know what I mean, and I still have it, and I think that's fucking insane to this day. So I'm solo, by myself, and the thing is, after high school, like that during that summer, as we just graduated, I kind of felt like a little weird because all of my friends are going to school. They're all been like, yo, I'm gonna go to college. Like they're going to Toronto, like London, Ontario, like they're going everywhere, right? And I wasn't talking about that. I didn't want to be that friend that they all came back to their hometown, and you know I'm just like stuck in my
you were
hometown.
still
So
there.
I like
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want that. So I literally just like looked up. I wanted to go to Vancouver, so I just like lived in Vancouver like straight out of high school like for 6, 7, 8 months, and my brothers were living there, and we had to move back eventually because they couldn't find jobs there, and we only had it for like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
And that's when the talks with Hector started coming in, like, yo, Scuff House. I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I had always wanted to join like a team house and all of that, and it just I had already loved the like what Optic was doing in the 60/50 house like prior. Like I love all those guys, and to live with those guys was fucking just makes me mad.
Yeah.
Like you know, like Hitch talks about it. He's like, it makes me so mad like thinking about those times because they were such good times, like just such good fucking memories
Yeah.
and good times, and you don't want it to have it squandered by Infinite or anything like that. You don't want that to ruin it for you, but it's a bittersweet thing, and that's how that started for me to join Optic back. And then and then the Infinite thing happened, and I just knew this wasn't even the same team. Like
Yeah.
Hector
Better
wasn't
work
making the
before.
calls. I was like, okay, like I gotta look out for myself real quick. Like it has to happen. Like everyone now look where everyone is. Like yeah, Maniac on Florida Mountaineers is the sub.
That's a sub, bro.
Yeah.
You
One
got
of their
Bose
players
as the
breaks their
6th
hand,
or
you're
7th
bringing in
man.
big.
You got Bose as the 6th or 7th man on Huntsman.
Well, it's weird. I feel like there's so many moments in our lives where it's so good, and maybe you do realize in the moment how good it is, or maybe sometimes you don't. But then after the fact, you look back and you're just like, wow, that was like that was amazing, right? Like, so last year for the Black Ops 4 season was just the fucking best. I had so much fun, and I look back at it now, and I'm like, damn, like I appreciated the hell out of it, but I kind of wish I'd appreciated it more, because it was just so great. But I mean, all you can do is move forward from that. But
Yeah.
I feel like everyone kind of has those
salty.
times. Yeah, exactly. But no, I do miss seeing you every day, Jay.
Yeah, I miss you too, Kay. Don't worry about it.
But
I'm right there with you.
never nameless driving ever again.
Nah. So Pam, so you basically are on Optic Gaming, and then eventually the whole thing with Infinity happens. Like, what was the feeling like knowing that you were going back to Phase? Like, I know it wasn't basically where it all started, but it's just like I know it's gotta feel like I'm home. Like,
I mean, yeah, not to sound too dramatic, but I think World War II was like that year. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. Maybe Study does it, but I don't think of my years as like 2011, 2012, 2013. I think of my years as like Call of Duty Ghosts, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, World War II. So like World War II was like easily like probably the worst year of my life, yo. That year just fucking is imprinted, like just life was just shit, and Optic going downhill was definitely a part of that. Like, it just wasn't a good time. Damn, bro, fuck. Makes me mad just thinking about it, man.
It's all right. Though.
I don't know.
We're here.
All I know, like, so I started coming back home more and not being in Texas because I had lost some family members too, and like I lost my therapy dog that year, and I just wanted to be home more, and I found myself talking with Seabass more, and we actually like met up. Like, so there's this place called Kitabala here that's like 30 minutes, and this place is it's open every Tuesday, and all these buses from like the area from Muskoka, you hop on a bus and you go to this one spot called Kitabala, and you just get drunk, and you just meet everyone and anyone. And I met Seabass there, and he was like, yo, hit me up, like, let's go to Kitabala. I'm like, you know to Kitabala? Let's go, hell yeah. So it kind of just became more of an idea. Like when BO4 was like coming around, I'm like, yo, BO4 is gonna be a fucking good year, bro. And then he started talking about the Toronto house, and then it just started feeling more right. And I hate the I know it's just trolling, but like when people say like, oh, he's going to join Optic or Faze again, like motherfucker, like you couldn't join it once and I could go back and forth. Like that's what happens when you're valuable, and that's what happens when you're someone in the space, you know what I mean? Like and it's funny because both teams said as soon as you leave, you can't join back. And that was what they said the first time I left. And I think it's kind of dope that I did come back to both teams, and I really appreciate that there's no bad blood between either teams either. You know what I mean? Like I did the podcast with Hector like as soon as I left Optic, and I know that was a tearjerker, like kind of just after it happened, because literally as soon as I got done with that podcast, my mom had taken a plane to Texas just for me to get an Uber so she can go to my apartment, and then we just drove for a day and a half straight from Texas all the way back to Perry Sound.
Oh wow.
Like, and she helped me do the drive, and like we literally like started the drive after that podcast.
That's a lot.
And as soon as it was like the drive from the podcast, and it's just we stopped at the Toronto house. Like that, it was like that quick of a transition. Like one day I was in a podcast and I made my tweet. I remember like making the tweet, like I had the laptop, I hadn't left Optic yet, I hadn't had any of that, and I had my laptop, and like I had the tweet opened up, had it all typed out, I had my video already done, and we had to stop at I actually had to use my data on my phone. I had to use a hotspot like an hour before the border. And I remember just like kind of like honestly having like an anxiety freak out. Like this is, you feel it. Like when those moments in your life happen, you feel you feel the moment,
undo what
and
you're
it's
about
like
to do.
Yeah, and the thing is like especially with the internet and social media nowadays, you get to like capture it honestly, and you get to seize the moment, and you like understand it more as time goes on. So I was like talking to my mom, like, and I'm just looking at the tweet, and it took me like 20 minutes to click tweet and click upload public, and it's because like I knew it was just a different time of my life about to happen as soon as I clicked this button, and that's kind of fucking insane to a life-changing moment just as soon as you click this button. Like a tweet goes out, you can't take it back. It is what it is.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I ended up on Phase the second time, and I mean, it did feel like, yeah, this is where I should be, and this is where I'm gonna be like for as long as I know, like until they kick me. If that ever fucking happens, then I would be very, 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 very fucking distraught and absolutely upset if they ever did that. I don't think they will though. I think I'm pretty cemented into the
You got the
into the
chain?
history.
You got
What's
the
that?
chain?
I got the chain.
Yeah, if you got the chain, you good, bro.
I
Don't
got
even
the
worry
chain.
about it.
I got the chain. Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right with it.
So how's mom now? All this time later, and after all these things, helping you drive back, everything. How is she about it now?
Oh, she just wants me to be happy like that. She knows like this is all I've like really wanted, and anything more that I do with it outside of like videos, like to help my family or like to help kids in my community or like to help my brothers. Like I feel very, very fortunate that I can like, yo, do you need like, can I help you with that? And like I can make something happen and I can help them. And I think now like now I'm just kind of like focused on just helping others. Like I think that's one of like the greatest feelings, like is putting people on, like because I know what it's like to blow up. I know what it's like to live through that, to kind of like recognize it. But the thing is, you can't think about it. You really can't think about it. You can't get caught up in it as you're doing it because you're too busy doing it, right? Like and I'm glad I recognize that now, because the amount of other like content creators and snipers back then that have come back, especially quarantine, like as soon as quarantine like happened, they were like, oh, I miss those days, you know what I mean? Like I miss BO2, I miss like all those days. Like me, I don't, absolutely not, because I was completely involved. Like I was just so like tunnel visioned into that, and I would not there's nothing on those games that I would ever like wish I did again. And they all do. They all wish they could relive that. I don't. And that made me realize like you really have no choice but to just not think about it. You got to like love it and just appreciate it, like especially in the moment, because we're gonna look back at Warzone a year or two from now, like we're like, damn, Warzone was fire, yo. We're gonna look back at like the dub, the win streak, you know what I mean? Like waking up early, you know what I mean? Like grilling Lou Dab, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna look back at this and like, damn, Warzone is fire. So like I'm very much in the moment. I'm very much appreciative in it, and I think helping people is one of the greatest feelings ever, and especially to see them thrive from scratch. Like in my head, I have two, I quote unquote, everyone has like seeds, right? You know what I mean? Like you have like somebody you like kind of like you kind of like little brother, you know what I mean? Like your seed. So like Testy, he started playing with us in Black Ops 3, right? He didn't know a speck of English. He had to learn English through us and on the side just to talk to us.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted to join FaZe so much, and he manifested that within like 2.5 years. So to see him go from there to where he is now, you know what I mean? Like just absolutely killing it it makes you happy. Right. Yeah, that's like straight up. And so Tessie is definitely one of them, and Swag, I met him last year, and we played with each other like all of BO4, and immediately when I first met him, like it was Texas. Do you
get like a sixth sense about someone when you meet him ever?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just a feeling, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just a good feeling you get about them, and you just know they have a good head on their shoulders, and like with those two, like I'll help those guys in any way I can. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is with people when they're the right person, you like 99% of the time you don't really have to help them too much because initiative goes like the longest way. People don't understand that. Like especially with graphic designers, like if you have the passion to just like do something without being asked, that alone separates you from the crowd so fucking much. You know what I mean? Like if I have an editor that's like, yo, I got this video for you, check it out. I'm like, I didn't ask you to do that, but you like this, try to put yourself in their shoes. That's all they were thinking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And they didn't ask your permission to do it. They didn't ask you like, yo, should I do this? No, you just went and did it regardless because you wanted to, right? And whether it's yes or no, like the initiative part is initiative goes the furthest way. And I think I told Swag last year, I was like, the thing with Faze, like, you got to make Faze want you. If you want to join, the thing is, you got to work so hard to get to a point where we would rather see you on our team than any other team. And we would feel like we fucked up and we missed out if you're on another team. And that's how I felt with Testy. And the thing is, I wasn't even on Faze. Like when Testy was, I was in the Optic house. And I knew I wanted to just put this guy on. Like he had like 20,000 or less subs like at the beginning of BO3. And all I did was just like, yo, check this guy out. Like this guy lives and breathes this shit. And I think about this a lot. I had like 38 days on BO3 by the end of that year. Sprat had 64, 68. Tessie had over 100 days.
Oh, damn, that's different.
So
Yeah.
I think back at that a lot, and I'm like,
Damn.
tell me this guy doesn't deserve this shit.
Yeah.
He learned English too from scratch. He didn't know how to speak to us. And it's
That's
funny because
crazy.
he loves telling us about that. He's like, yo, I didn't know how to speak. I'm like, I didn't know how to speak to you guys back then. And it's funny to hear him say, like, you know, I was nervous to talk to you guys. Like, I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to say anything out of line to think, oh, I don't want to fuck with this guy no more.
Yeah.
Because I thought the exact same way when Apostle invited me, right? And because I didn't want to say anything fucked up. I didn't want to be like, oh, maybe this guy's weird or some shit like that. Maybe he's a fanboy or something like that. I didn't want to torch that. Like that's what's going on in your head at the time, but nothing's gonna happen to you. You know, like you're in the right spot. You're at the right time. You're around the right people, and that's a big thing about putting yourself out there on the internet.
Sure.
Things just happen. You know, like you kind of just think, damn, I can't believe he saw my tweet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and the thing
Like
is,
J.R.
like,
Smith for me, bro. Like playing with J.R. Smith is just like,
facts, brother. Facts,
wild.
dude. That shit's insane. That
Yeah.
it's J.R. Smith.
wow.
I can't believe you think you've drank more Hennessy than him, Study?
Yeah, I definitely drink more Hennessy than J.R. Smith too. It's a funny thing. He told me he didn't drink it. It's a funny thing. All good though.
Times.
Oh, I love
Amazing.
that. Well, Pam, that's a wild ride, my guy. So to close things out with you before we can let you go, do you have any plans right now? Do you have anything you're working on right now that you want to share? Or are you just kind of kicking it, hanging out, setting crazy win streaks on Warzone?
Nah, just kind of getting back into the daily content grind and just, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of.
The stew.
Yeah, the stew. Yeah, I mean, definitely like when Black Ops 4 was happening and World War II was happening, like I kind of felt like downtime. Like, and I think something that people don't understand with when you play video games for a living, you need something that takes you away from that because I think for everyone, I think for you guys as well, like before this became your living, this was your getaway.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. Yeah.
What do you do when this is no longer your getaway? And that was a big thing that I personally struggled with. And that's what kind of pushed me towards more music. And the thing is, it lined up too well because like some of my videos were getting flagged by like some of the background music, like the artists that I was using on the videos. And I was like fucking with my money. And it just kept pushing me towards that direction. And it was like very, very like, it's not even a coincidence anymore. Like it's you start to know like this is what you're supposed to do, and I think you guys definitely like. How did you guys end up here? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure you guys don't even think about things as coincidences anymore. You know what I mean? Like you look back at it, like yeah, this is supposed to happen. You're in the right spot at the right time, and you just feel it. It's a feeling thing. That's why I tell anyone just do your passion for a living. And it sounds corny, but like this is how I've lived for 10 years since I'm 14 and I'm 24 now, and this is all I know. And that's all I would tell anyone else to do.
Well, there you have it, folks. I love that, though, Pam. I'm excited to see what you do. I'm excited. I'm sure you'll carry me to some more wins soon enough in Warzone along with Study. But thank you so much for joining us on the Loadout. This was great. You are released now. Feel free to go. I don't know if you're going to stream, if you're going to kick it.
Let's go! Let's get some dubs!
What you're gonna do the rest of the day, if you're going to get back on Warzone. But seriously, Pam,
Thanks
thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And now, guys, Jay and I do need to go ahead and do our draft buff picks for CDL Minnesota. So let me go ahead and move Jay's camera over, and then we can get started so I can whoop your ass for the third time in a row.
Well, honestly, I think I put a lot more homework into this.
Did you?
Hopefully, none of my players get benched. I'm pretty much choosing like guaranteed players that shouldn't go anywhere. So.
Okay, so just so you guys know, if you want, there should be in chat a link to the draft buff for CDL Minnesota. Once again, CDL Minnesota has been postponed until next weekend. It will not be this weekend, but we are doing our draft buff picks anyway. So do you want to go first, or would you like to hear how I'm going to kick your ass?
I'll go first. Right off the rip. I'm going first. Okay. At the AR position, I'm choosing formal.
Oh, well, so am I, so fuck you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is not really off to a great start then, huh? All right. So let's move down a section. For my flex, I'm choosing Priesta.
Okay, seriously? Jay, really?
You hacking my phone or something over there, woman? What you doing?
Wait, I deadass have Formal and Priesta too. So you're learning from my success is what I'm getting from this.
Yup.
Yeah. If
All
you
right.
pick
As my main SMG, I'm picking the Ginger Ninja Scump.
Oh, okay. I went with Shotzi. All
okay,
right.
Cool.
All right. We have to be a little different. All right. So we got Scump. I'm going with Shotzi. Who's your first utility?
Our first utility is going to be Crim 6.
Okay, so we're back on the same pattern.
Alrighty then.
I picked Crim too. All right. So our only difference right now, folks, is Scump and Shotzi. Okay, so who's your fifth?
My fifth, to round it all out, is going to be Asim from
my
Minnesota.
God! Jay, deadass! Did you fucking copy me for this whole thing?
Are you hacking, dog? Like, what are you doing, Kate?
I don't even know if you can see my phone screen right now.
You definitely can't see mine, but yeah.
Okay,
so like,
we went with the exact same team. Okay, yeah, so it's Scum versus Shotzi. Yes.
All right, bet.
Wait, and Munch is saying 5 gifted against both of you. I'll beat both of you, Munch. I'm not giving you 5 gifted. No way.
Yeah, you're trash, bro. It's all good.
You can give 5 gifted to whichever one of us wins. How about that? Oh, that's so fun. But you can see it there, folks. The link is in the chat, so do sign up with us. You heard ours. Once again, if you missed it, ours are Formal, Priesta, Shotzi, Asim, and Crim 6. And Jay's exact same, but Scump instead of Shotzi for his SMG role. So it should be good. We will find that out not this weekend, but next weekend for CDL Minnesota. And once again, thank you so much for joining us here on The Loadout. It will go up on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, the whole shebang. We will get that up for you as soon as we can, so that if you miss it, you can take note of the entire interview with Pamaj. But yeah, so we will see you guys. Jay, are you going to go back and start streaming after this, or?
Yep, I'm going to be playing with Pamaj. So.
Well, perfect then. If you guys want to see Pam, if you want to see Jay, please do go tune into their channels, because they will be streaming after this. And we will catch you guys later.